Right. Okay, brilliant. I will be talking about how the Hazara diasporic communities, they struggle and strive for the perseverance of their cultural and ethnic identities through acts, practices, and processes of civil activism. In this research, which is my second job, and I'm not getting paid for this, I try to understand how the Hazara diasporic communities navigate the complexities and the requirements associated with the process of hybrid and dual identity formation, identity consolidation, which is most often complex, multifactorial, and shifting from time to time in response or in relation to the shifting bad socioeconomic conditions. In this research, what I'm trying to do is to connect ecologies of knowledges at the margins for peace and equality, not just in Afghanistan, but beyond. The findings of this research have been published in multiple forms and formats in different places. The theories that I've been using will be explained quite later, but again, I've been using a confluence of different theories to theorize the Hazara people's struggles for their rights and social justice in and beyond Afghanistan, in attempt to create a theoretical framework to help the Hazara people to understand their conditions, to connect and interact with their surroundings, and to respond to the experiences that they have been going through and enduring in a socio-political process for the past 130 years. And also in this research, I'm trying to forge and consolidate a new theoretical framework that could be used by other ethnic groups in their civil activism and struggles for political rights and social justice. At the moment, I've got 4 pieces of work which connect together to form this research. The first one is my co-authored book, which is coming out on the 9th of December through Routledge, which will be available in London and New York simultaneously. I've got a journal article which has been accepted and is in the production process with the British Journal of Sociology of Education. In that journal article, I'm trying to contextualize how the other people in Afghanistan have been using educational resources, settings, institutions for liberation and also for their socio-political rights. I've got another journal article accepted and coming out with Central Asian Survey that again looks and examines how the Hazara people's struggles for social and political rights have been forging, consolidating to multiple phases, multiple practices, multiple processes, and what are their contributions and its significance in terms of social cohesion, peace, prosperity, and social justice. This piece particularly looks into the case of the Enlightenment movement, Junbi to see how it transformed the civil activism landscape within and beyond Afghanistan. And the larger piece that is a work in progress, again, that looks into the socio-political movements that were formed, deformed, constructed, and deconstructed by the Hazara people in their struggles for their rights, and also for the establishment and dissemination of social justice in Afghanistan over the past 40 or so years. The presentation that I will be giving today draws on a number of theories. So I'm using epistemic injustice theory that was coined by Miranda Fika in 2007. And I supplement this work with critical rights literacy or critical rights literacy theories to try to understand how the Hazara people and communities outside Afghanistan organize for peace and justice within their communities. These theories are particularly relevant to this research. First of all, they are very powerful, they are thorough, they are relatively new within the Afghanistan context. and also they are very critical, innovative, and provide new narratives, lenses, discourse analysis methods to contextualize, to understand, and to interpret the conditions that lead to epistemic injustice, or let's say to epistemic violence that different communities or social groups would have experienced within the broader socio-political structures in Afghanistan. And also, I use critical rights literacy theories. These theories are also quite new when it comes to Afghanistan. And these are also very powerful because they extend beyond the human rights literature, theories, debates, and discourses, and engage and criticize issues of power and the ways in which governance systems and institutions deny people rights. So, in terms of the epistemic justice theories, according to Fika, there are two main types of epistemic injustice. The first one is testimonial injustice, and the second type is hermeneutical injustice. Testimonial injustice happens when someone is not given due credit as a speaker because of a prejudice that is built on their identity, such as race, gender, sexuality, identity. And hermeneutical identity is more critical, more consequential, more complex, and more captivating when it comes to Afghanistan. And it happens when someone is unable to understand or make sense of their conditions or their surroundings or make sense of their social experiences due to a lack of shared language or resources. In this case, the marginalized or disadvantaged communities, individuals, or groups are barred from utilizing their agency, or barred or denied the platforms and the resources, the language, the grammar, the literature that they need to make sense of their experiences and then convey their experiences, their understanding, their interpretations to others. So they are denied these resources. Taken together, epistemic injustice happens, but when the unjust meaning making and knowledge production structures treat certain layers of communities, individuals, or groups in a way that make them experience exclusion, invisibility, silence, and misrepresentation. Basically, their identity is distorted and they are denied the possibility of represent themselves the way they would like to, seek their aspirations, and utilize their potential to achieve their intended goals. So epistemic injustice leads and also feeds into epistemic violence. It happens when disadvantaged communities, individuals, or groups are inhibited from speaking for themselves and on their behalf about their lives, about their aspirations, about their interests, about their futures, about whatever they want to do, about their identities, and about the way they would like to spend their life. And it is simply because they are not being given due credit in the first place, and they are bought the resources, the language, and the culture and the cultural resources, because the more powerful people would understand that they are in a better place, they are better positioned to speak on their behalf. They know it better, they are more powerful, they are more knowledgeable, they understand it better, and it is them who should be speaking on the behalf of those disadvantaged communities, individuals, or groups, rather than allowing them the space, the opportunity, the platform, and the language to speak it for themselves. So when it comes to the Hazara people's experiences, I think it is understandable that the Hazara people are the greatest victims of the epistemic injustice in Afghanistan. They haven't had the opportunity, the platform, and also the agency to produce the knowledge about themselves and disseminate it in a way that suits their two conditions. And also the epistemic knowledge that exists within the literature that is not reflective of the Hazara people's aspirations, identities, and also cultural resources, because this knowledge has not been produced by the Hazara people themselves, rather has been produced in a distorted way by the people who would like to dictate a way for the Hazara to follow. So this is an opportunity, I think, for everybody to connect these ecologies of knowledges at the margins, to give the Hazara people the opportunity and the platform to reflect and to produce and manage the epistemic knowledge about themselves and their experiences, about themselves and their aspirations and interests in a way that they would like to, and also in a way that suits their condition. Similar to the epistemic injustice theory, critical rights literacy theories are really, really powerful because they engage people to, they encourage people to engage critically with their surroundings, with the broader socio-political structures, with the broader historical and economic factors that undermine their agency, their identity, their interests and aspirations. And also it gives them the understanding that undermine their rights and the power to exercise their rights within a particular ecology or within a particular socioeconomic condition. So these are the main theories or sets of theories that I'm using for this research. I found them really useful, really helpful, and they have been really instrumental in enabling me to interpret my findings in a way that is accurate and true and make sense. So, epistemic injustice theory and critical rights literacy theory, they work in tandem with each other. They feed into each other. They supplement each other, and they reiterate the power that each of them brings into research. When I look at the Hazara people's struggle, the struggles for socio-political rights and social justice through civil activism, I understand that this civil activism and also these struggles have led to the creation and consolidation of a sensitized, collaborative consciousness amongst the Hazara diasporic communities, a consciousness that is not just reactive, it is proactive, it is proactive, and it also helps them identify the conditions of epistemic injustice that undermine the Hazara people's agency and denies them the platform, the resources that they need to make sense of their social experiences and to fight the social inequalities. This consciousness I've seen and I've experienced through my work and engagement with the Hazara communities around the globe, and it functions as the core of their civil or the civic activism. And it has been instrumental in forging and consolidating a sense of belonging, a sense of togetherness, and a sense of necessity to come together, to stick together, to speak to each other, and also represent their aspirations, their identity, and their culture together for an optimal impact. So that leads to a platform that gives them the opportunity for reaction and action. It gives them the agency to talk, to speak, to engage with each other, to engage with the broader world. And it gives them a shared agenda, a shared language, shared cultural resources. It gives them the literature, the language they need, and the tools they would like to see. And taken all of them together have been instrumental in forming the philosophy, the rationale, the tools, the practices, and the processes of their resistance for their cultural preservance, and also their struggles for their socio-political rights and social justice in and beyond Afghanistan. So in a nutshell, so this is the research that I have been working on for the past few years. And now, so I would like to continue on this because I know it's quite significant, it's important, and also I think it is a corporate responsibility, and I would like everybody to, and I would like to encourage everybody to engage with this sort of research that leads to ultimate popular empowerment, particularly to the empowerment of people who have been historically and traditionally marginalized within their broader communities. So thank you so very much. I don't know how much I've spoken, but that is the end of the presentation. Thank you, everybody, for listening.